which you could also take, which would add even more.
Yeah, I'm gonna colonize that. It's my plan as soon as my 2 colonies are done.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's the thing. I imagine if we have a good relationship, he's gonna be willing to protect me a bit more, or at least not attack me like the others.
I mean, that's the thing, because you can basically say, I will guarantee you exclusivity in the Ivory Coast if you let me take my share, but we have to defend each other for this. And that's going to mean a lot of money goes into Sevilla and nowhere else.
Yeah, exactly. And in the end of the game, Austria allied me. And I talked with him through Discord, and he basically said, yeah, I don't want the Europeans messing with you, so that's kind of good. He's not expecting me to attack Andalusia or someone else who I kind of want to stay on good terms with.
Sure. So how are you feeling about Ethiopia, Congo, and Arabia, your other African neighbors?
Not really much of a problem. I mean, Congo is just trying to do his own thing down in Central Africa, so he's just trying to stay as neutral as possible, I think. Even become allies, I will help him expand a bit. As a strong Congo is kind of good for me because that means less Europeans.
Yes.
And Ethiopia, we're on good terms, and I'd say, but as he pointed out, both the Commonwealth and I think it was Arabia are basically talking to him like, which side do you want to join? And he's like, I'm gonna have to wait and see in game if I'm gonna take any side.
Now that's interesting. I hadn't even considered Ethiopia being something of a kingmaker, but he certainly has that potential.
Yeah, because if, for example, Arabia, Ottomans, and Timurids ally to each other, well, Ethiopia is in the back door there, so that could hurt Arabia a lot.
Sure.
I mean, he is basically the Bank of Africa.
Yeah, and if Ethiopia were to turn on him, then that's a lot of very, very wealthy territories there along the Nile, which Ethiopia could just grab very quickly.
Yeah, but as far as I understand it, he's not really interested in moving north. He's more focused in the East Coast, which could possibly make problems with Congo, as I'd imagine they both want Kilwa.
Yes. Yeah, Kilwa and Mutapa are going to be an interesting one, because both of those are very wealthy. Yeah,
so it's going to be interesting. It's like, I want to talk to you, like, this is my moment of glory. We'll see if I'm going to fall this session or the next one, because a lot of stuff can happen that just falls on top of me, I feel.
How's your technology been compared to the Europeans?
Let's see. I think I'm actually kind of okay right now. I'm on 10, 12, and 13. And I'm right now actually waiting to go to 13 on diplomacy, because I can quite soon embrace the printing press.
Right. Because one of the only mod that we're actually playing with is the No Development Institution mod, which means you can't just develop up and get institutions, which does make the game a lot more difficult for the African and Asian nations. So you would have been feeling the brunt of that. So how have you been getting technology? Have you done any special deals to get, like, knowledge sharing or anything?
Yeah, I've been basically knowledge sharing with, I think it was Portugal. I've been doing a bit with, I think, Austria, and maybe a third country, I can't remember. But I'm been trying to keep doing various deals for knowledge sharing.
Yeah, I'm just comparing you to, like, Congo and others, and yes, you are ahead of the Congo, though actually only just, and Ethiopia's ahead of you.
Yeah, but I imagine once I get that printing press, I can start catch up to them even more. Especially seeing I've been spending a lot of my military points to finally get defensive ideas.
Sure, yeah, I hadn't even looked at your ideas yet. Defensive is going to be really good for you. We'll let you entrench and get morale and stuff like that. Economics is a good choice, yeah.
Yeah, basically right now I'm just looking over where do I want to put my force and think about making a first and a second layer of defense. And I want all the high attrition and high defense areas while still cover as much as possible.
Now, just having a look to see how many gold mines Mali still has. You have 3.
Yeah, the one is depleted, or at least was nearing it. I got a message from it last session.
Okay. I'm gonna guess that was Burr.
Think so.
Does it actually give you a message if it has depleted? Because I'm not seeing one.
No. I've been kind of looking. No, it was something. Maybe it was close to depleting, or was a warning about it, but it hasn't yet depleted. Yeah, I don't know.
Not seeing it. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but I wanted just to say that.
Yeah, that's cool, and I'm definitely watching Marley's continued game with interest. Like, I know you were so worried at that point when everyone started to dogpile you, but that moment of exploration to West Africa has kind of ended, so you've weathered that phase, and now the next one's going to be the global trade phase, when they start trying to pull money from India, and at that point the Ivory Coast becomes extremely important. So it's going to be interesting how you kind of progress into that part of the game.
Yeah. Basically, my tactic is going to be a strategy to... If you want to come, it's going to be as painful as possible, so it's not going to be worth it.
I think that's also kind of Ethiopia's usual game plan, so Africa's just going to be a pain.
Yeah. I think everyone in Africa is taking defensive ideas. I'm not entirely sure, but
That's a good question. That's something I can check pretty quickly. Ethiopia hasn't actually taken defensive. You have. Andalusia, I'm fairly sure, has. Andalusia has. Arabia, I don't think has either. So it's actually just you and Andalusia. Oh, and Congo, maybe. Arabia has not. Congo has, but they haven't finished them yet.
Hey, Mordred, sorry to jump in briefly here. CPM's heading out. Keeps chugging the game behind a little bit, unfortunately, and he's decided he's going to drop out for today.
Okay.
So
Ireland's protected.
To let you know, he's protected, yeah.
Cool. I will add him to my protected list.
Alright. Sorry to interrupt, guys. See ya.
No worries, thank you.
no way.
Alright, so Ireland's protected. Cool. So Ireland played enough of the game to get their peace deal against the Dutch and then pulled out.
Yeah, which feels to me kind of bad, because I was actually right before the game talking to both the Dutch and Portugal about, well, can we do anything about Ireland? Portugal was on Ireland's side, was like, yeah, but might accept the peace deal if it became too much pressure.
Right. Because, yeah, I know Portugal and Ireland are allied, and Portugal just entered the war on Ireland's side at the end of last session.
Yeah. And because basically the fact that the Dutch and Portugal attacked me is like, yeah, it's typical European stuff. I'm not really salty about that. Ireland, though, talked me to Discord and acted like we were going to be the best of friends, and then he attacked me. It's like, really?
Well, learn from that treason, that betrayal.
Yeah, so my trust for him is low, and I want him to hurt soon.
Okay, well, you may well get the chance, because he does still have that one province on your coast.
Yeah. I was first thinking like, hey, maybe I should just give him 100 gold and he gave me the province, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nice talk. I'll try to focus now on building my forts.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'll speak to you later.
Yep, see ya.
Bye. Okay, so as we were looking just before that at Japan, I think that we ought to continue looking at Japan. Their income is looking pretty healthy. Hello.
So, France here, it seems I have a little bit more time on my hands than I initially. Considering that Code Red isn't attacking me as soon as the truce is up, like he promised.
He promised that he would attack, or that he wouldn't?
He promised he would attack as soon as my truce is up.
Oh, maybe he just hadn't noticed. Shall I go and tell him?
He did notice, and he told me that he isn't going to attack because the AI will still defend me. I pieced out of the coalition war, which I won for a couple of ducats, mind you, and other stuff does not seem to go as planned.
Right. In fact, yeah, Denmark, Andalusia, and Arabia are all AI right now.
Yes.
So that was probably a little bit nerve-wracking. I can understand that.
So I have to admit, even though Dutch guy is very angry about the AI, I'm very happy about the AI. Because since the AI pulled out of the war, I could also pull out of the...
Were you in that Dutch war as well?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it was just Ireland, Portugal versus Denmark and the Netherlands, or Holland.
Right, but Denmark was in the coalition war with me, and in a reversal of what happened earlier, he got sieged down completely by the...
Yes, I remember that.
And after the Danish AI pieced out of the coalition war as well, I had enough war score to pull out of the coalition war as well.
Gotcha. So, do you have any plans towards Aragon right now?
I don't think I can. I mean, the thing is, I don't have any plans against Aragon anyway, because what I wanted from Aragon, that was Labour, or Florida, how we renamed it, I got. The other two provinces are for defensive purposes. So, yeah, I don't have any more real plans in Iberia for myself.
Okay. Any other plans? Like, are you going colonial?
I think it's a little bit too late for that.
It's not. It's still really early. There's tons of coastline in America, loads of Africa.
I mean, I don't have ships anyway. I can't support ships, and yeah, I don't.
So, being at the periphery of European politics, where's your power base going to come from?
I don't have any power base anymore. I'm screwed.
Okay.
So the only thing I can do right now is trying to hold the line as long as possible against Austrian Commonwealth. So we will see.
Okay, fair enough.
But we are allowed to watch the VOD after the session.
Yeah, just not
so
live.
I watched the VOD and I realized about you talking about my merchant in Genoa. The thing is, merchant in Genoa give me more ducats than if I would have pulled him in Champagne, because in Champagne I would have made 8 ducats from trade, and now I make 9 ducats from trade, even with the Mali.
Okay.
I just never had the diplo points initially to move my trade capital, and later on there were other plans for the southern front line, which, yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that you could do, is Aragon still has 2 centres of trade unclaimed. If you got those 2 plus the 2 you already have, you could get a pretty significant amount of of Genoa. Because Texas and Midland are both centres of trade, and in fact New York is an estuary.
I'm not sure if I can afford to go more into... I
mean, yeah, sure, that would antagonize Andalusia and Portugal, especially if they're trying to divide that land up between them. Just saying.
They don't anymore, I think. Not after the last one.
Well, this could be your opportunity then. Like, Genoa is the best trade node in the entire game, bar none. And Champagne feeds into it, and you control Champagne completely. So you could make so much money out of Genoa.
Not really, because Portugal could block off this trade.
From the west, sure, but not from the east. You still got everything coming through Alexandria and that area.
And to be honest, I don't want to antagonize Portugal more than I already have. I know that they are in courts with Austria anyway, and I know that Portugal and Andalusia have their conflicts, and I am supporting Andalusia. So, yeah. I mean, the plan initially was for me to suck up money from Holland anyway. So, diverting my trade to him and getting paid for it in subsidies, and sponsoring my quality army to Portugal and Andalusia.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yes, trade subsidies from the trade powers are a good way of doing it. That's what I did with Tirhut as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem that the plans are working out as much as I hoped that would work out right now. So I will see what I am going to do in the future. Like I said, right now I am more worried about survival than anything else.
Sure. I get that. It's difficult because I want to give you advice, but I really shouldn't. I'm not allowed to. I'm an observer.
I know. I mean, the thing is, it's more about politics now for me anyway. It always was about politics.
Yeah, France, because you're such a influential power in Europe, you're always going to have a massive hand in any diplomatic agreement. I mean, you are still the big blue blob. People are still going to treat you with respect. No, you are. Like, people, just because of the way that they play Europa Universalis 4, they know the impact that France can have, especially now that you've consolidated a lot of your borders. Like, you cannot be underestimated. You just can't. You've still France, you've still got Iran. You're still, like, one of the strongest morale powers in the game. Actually, I'm just going to double check to see how that ranks right now.
Normally, you're right. Right now, the thing is more the real power now lies in Austria and Commonwealth, and all the politics.
Yeah, I'm not saying that
I'm
not saying you're the best power. I'm just saying you are still France. People will respect that.
I know, but like I said, the politics blew up last session. I mean, Portugal is angry at me because I'm supporting Andalusia and is a bit for Iberia.
Mm-hmm.
Ireland is angry at me because I broke my alliance with him, even though I said it in, how do we call it? I warned him about it, that I'm going to break my alliance with. And yeah, Austria Commonwealth, they both have an alliance, and Austria has more than enough reason.
I mean, yeah, your biggest threat on your borders would be Austria, definitely. Portugal could do some damage. I think the thing that would be in your best interest would be for Andalusia to grab everything they can in Iberia and just deny it from Portugal.
That was the plan, but that plan backfired, and now it's not so easy anymore because Portugal has an alliance with Austria.
Yeah, that last session was catastrophic in terms of how it affected things. Ooh, Austria's just gone off to the Pope and took it.
It really shook things up, that's right.
Yeah. I need to talk to chat for a bit. Do you mind? Just without you here, sorry. Because this is actually a big deal. Sorry about that. So, one of the lines in the sand that the Commonwealth had said is do not take Rome. Rome must remain Catholic. And of course, Austria is Protestant. And the big Catholic blob right now are the Commonwealth. So Austria have just trampled all over the agreement that they had made with the Commonwealth to not take Rome. And that could impact the alliance between these two. Because basically Austria said, I will allow you to have Hungary if you allow me to have Rome. And Commonwealth was like, So I do wonder if that's going to have any... I suspect it probably will. Because the Commonwealth really wants Catholicism to exist. The other interesting thing is there are still Catholic nations. Where will the Pope have moved to? Let's see if we can find him. No Papal States. Or is it the Papal States? They have not respawned anywhere. But that was definitely, like I said, one of the big lines in the sand. Now, the other thing that I want to see is if Austria can actually convert it. Right now, they're converting Siena, they're converting Florence. They cannot, with the current power that they have, convert Rome because it is a religious centre. It's a territory which reduces it. So once they have stated it, that's going to be 2% better. So that's still going to be 1.8 behind. Their stability is 0. With 2 stability, they can convert Rome. Oh, in fact, they could also choose the missionary strength church power. which will definitely allow them to do it. So it's doable. It's completely doable.